Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic Wednesday, wherever you are around the world. And of course, welcome back to yet another match preview show. Of course, the Reds do take on Toulouse tomorrow at Anfield, and it will pretty much determine whether or not Liverpool win the group or not. Of course, Liverpool at the minute, top of the group, but again, if Toulouse do manage to beat Liverpool, I think it does move them a point above Liverpool in the standings anyway. But of course, if the Reds win, it will more or less secure, of course, a group victory. Because again, I think Liverpool would be 5 points clear of second if Liverpool were to be victorious tomorrow as well anyway. But again, it's going to be a very, very difficult game, of course, tomorrow night at Anfield. And yeah, we're going to preview it for you guys, of course. Evening press, hopefully doing well, mate. And yeah, if anyone else is in the chat as well, then do let me know in the comment section down below. Of course, like usual, guys, if you're new around here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Very much appreciated as always. But in the comments, oh, there's me double checking the stream. As bloody hell, can you hear myself? But again, guys, let me know how all of you are. Anyway, but of course, we're going to discuss Jurgen Klopp's press conference earlier on today. We're giving updates on the likes of course, Cody Gakpo and Thiago Alcantara. Again, still not back yet. I want to quickly talk about Thiago as well in today's episode. As well, obviously, we'll look at starting line predictions and so on as well anyway. But again, guys, if you're new around here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well anyway. But I've just seen a very funny comment there. But yeah, again, it will be interesting to see because again, Liverpool, you would assume would go pretty strong tomorrow. Again, with pretty much the group pretty much being decided. When you do look at it again, Liverpool pretty much with a win do qualify. I'd say just taking a quick look at the table now. Again, Liverpool 2 points ahead of Toulouse at the moment, and again, obviously Union are on 1 point, and then Lask are on 0. So it would pretty much mean Liverpool win the group if we do win tomorrow. But again, look, realistically, if Liverpool can get officially into the next round with 2 games left, then again would be absolutely perfect in that scenario as well. But I'd rest Matip and VVD for Toulouse and play Konza and Kanate. That would be my 2 as well. 3 Vevas, Coutinho as well. But yeah, I do think that you can take some risks with some players. I think that there's a conversation. I think in midfield. I think left back as well. There's also that discussion of who should play at the fullback area. But again, I think pretty much Liverpool shouldn't be going out. Same team as Everton, for example. I do think Liverpool should 100%. Be resting a few players. Of course, we'll have them on the bench if needed. But again, Mo Salah shouldn't be playing tomorrow night. Neither. That's my expectation. Anyway, for tomorrow as well. But President, I think we see Endo at left back throwing it in there. Not a bad shout. To be honest, press. Looking at the options again. Again, you got him, Simicas, Joe Gomez as well could play left back. Again, there's a different of options there. Anyway, but I just want to quickly dive in anyway straight away to, of course, Jurgen Klopp's comments on, of course, injury news as well, like we mentioned earlier on about Cody Gakpo, of course, from Neil Jones, saying that Jurgen Klopp says Andy Robertson has had surgery, which went well as it could be, which, of course, we know Robbo is out for at least 4 months with that shoulder injury. Of course, Cody Gakpo is in full training, available for tomorrow, and Thiago and Bajcetic are still out, which, of course, the great news is the fact that, again, Cody Gakpo, as you can see over there from the open training session today, is fit, he is back, he is available. And for me, he does start tomorrow as well. A little bit of spoilers for the start 11 prediction, but for me, he does start tomorrow without a doubt. Again, didn't play any minutes in the Merseyside derby. I think he was pretty much ready for that game, but wasn't named as a substitute. To be fair, again though, and one thing we are going to talk about in a minute is Thiago Alcantara, because for me, I think there's a real conversation around him where again, don't want to be too negative on the situation, but for me, again, when we talk about Thiago's career over Liverpool, or over the last 4 years, it hasn't been a successful 4 years. I think at Liverpool, in my personal opinion, I don't think it's been what any of us expected. I think we all knew Thiago had his injury problems, but when a player was supposed to be back in pre-season and hasn't even kicked a football at all so far this year, um, it doesn't look great, does it? Especially when rumours, I think at the start of the season, were circulating that Liverpool could be offering him a new contract because, again, Jurgen Klopp views Thiago as crucial in this Liverpool squad. And I think we all said if you added maybe Thiago to this team, and certainly that midfield, again, it would be absolutely, brilliant once again to have the likes of McAllister, Gravenberch, Jones, Elliott, Thiago, Szoboszlai, and that would be a really, really good midfield. But again, one crucial element to that is Thiago not being there. And for me, he 100% doesn't get a contract in the summer. I'd be very surprised if Liverpool did keep him around, unless there was like a massive pay cut on Thiago's end. But yeah, for me, I think look, I'm going to do a lot more in-depth video on Thiago because again, I think I think we've mentioned this in different videos. For me, the best Thiago that we saw was simply the end of 21-22, when we were going for the quadruple. That for me was when he was at his best. And then since then, we haven't seen Thiago the same. I would say personally, he's either been injured or out of form, which again is a real shame. Because again, I rate Thiago. When he plays, I think he's one of the best midfielders in the world on the ball. But again, when he's playing, it's a rarity, isn't it, chat? It's not standard. Then let's just say that anyway. But yeah, we will of course be looking for a replacement probably in the summer. If I was going, I'd go with Joe Gomez at left-sided centre back, left back, with Canate certainly and Konza right-sided centre back. Trent should start and play in midfield to create bullets for the forwards. Could do 100%. I think there is a real conversation. I think as well. I think Jurgen can experiment a bit more with Europa League. Again, this isn't meant as disrespect to Toulouse because again, like they are second at the minute in the group. Of course, obviously drawing and beating I think last time out as well. So again, you have to give them credit. But I think Liverpool can afford to to risk it a little bit. Not saying they're going to. Don't get me wrong, but I do think that Liverpool are, they are confident in what they can do with the players that we have. Like in terms of Joe Gomez at left back or Konza at right-sided centre back. Again, I don't see no problem with Konza starting. I think he's been brilliant so far when he's been called upon this season. But yeah, I would certainly agree with that Files anyway. But Press going with Kelleher, Endo, Konza, Canate, Gomez, McAllister, Jones, and Elliott, Jota, Nunes, and Doak. I don't think Ben Doak's available. If I'm being honest, Press, I haven't seen him in any of the photos of training. I don't know whether or not if he is back or not, because I know he did have a slight injury for Scotland, but I don't know whether or not if he is back. Let me know, chat, in the comments. But Young Boys equalised against City. That's huge, to be fair. What's the score now? Is it still 1-1 or? So yeah, 1-1. Jesus Christ, fair play to him. But yeah, for me that would be being interesting anyway. But oh yeah, I forgot his injuries. Yeah, it's a weird one though because I looked on the list of the injury. Again, obviously come up with Robbo, we come up with Thiago and Bajcetic, and Doak wasn't there, so maybe he might be available. I haven't seen Ben Doak in training, so maybe that's an indication. But still, it'd be interesting. I think at least anyway. But for me, guys, anyway, and taking a look at it, let me quickly get up the predictor that I've got. So obviously this is on and this is Anfield. As you can see on the left hand side, let me quickly move Press's comment. This would be my team on the left hand. Oh, Bloody hell. Sorry, chat. There we go. Bloody hell. About my bloody my camera fell over. Apologies, chat. But yeah, as you can see with it, Kelleher in goal, Joe Gomez, Konza, Kanate, and Tsimikas. I think that would be the back four. Midfield, I've gone with Szoboszlai, Endo, and Curtis Jones. Obviously, Curtis Jones will miss the Forest game, of course, because he's still suspended in the Premier League. We can play in Europe again. So Curtis Jones on the left-hand side, and then I've gone a forward line of Harvey Elliott, Cody Gakpo, and Diogo Jota as well, because I do think the front three against Forest will be Darwin, Luis Diaz, and Mo Salah. And again, look, Mo Salah shouldn't be playing against Toulouse anyway. Again, obviously important to keep him as a super sub, but at the end of the day, as I quickly move you over like that, at the end of the day, Mo shouldn't be playing anywhere near the Toulouse game. Let's not be frank about it. Again, I know he played in the last game away from home, but again, I don't see Mo Salah being a part of this team. Maybe he might be on the bench potentially, but again, we'll have to wait and see in that regard. Anyway, but again, guys, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Again, it's good news the fact that Cody Gakpo is back, but of course, it's always an interesting factor whether or not you'll be thrown straight into it. Of course, obviously with the injuries, normally Klopp doesn't like to throw people in straight in. Of course, we've seen a couple of people take their time and so on, and might get used against Forest potentially, and that's when we may see Darwin start up front. But I don't know. I just think that again, I think Jota and Gakpo have a good link up play with one another, and I just think that front three links up perfectly compared to again Lucho, Darwin, and Mo, which I think that front three is Liverpool's best front three going forward. So again, look, it'll be interesting for me, guys, and again, get your score predictions in. I'm gonna go 3-1 Liverpool. Again, watch it be what a 1-0 or 2-0 again, but I'm gonna go 3-1 for Liverpool. I think, look, again, if that's the team that Liverpool put out, again, for me, I think that's very much a comfortable team that Liverpool should be controlling the game and should be, winning, plain and simple. And then, again, winning the group is the priority. I think the club has very much identified that as, again, we don't want to play two games in between, the knockout round. So again, that's perfect in that sense. But then again, it's also the fact that we want to be able to give youth an option as well. Obviously, Kelleher, for Allison, I think that's a big one there. You could potentially look at youth. I know that again, you could play a couple of youth midfielders in there, but again, I just think the second team is pretty good enough in that sense to be able to do that anyway. But let me quickly read out Red's comment. Red's Press's comment, sorry. 3-0 Reds as well as Press. Yeah, I would go again. I went with 3-1. I think Liverpool always like to concede, don't we? At some point. So yeah, I've gone 3-1. But again, I would take a 3-0, absolutely. I take a 1-0 to be fair, as long as Liverpool get all 3 points and advance into the knockout stages of the Europa League. That'd be absolutely perfect. Anyway, but again, guys, overall, the positive signs was again no fresh injuries, which is really really good. Again, obviously Jurgen speaking about Darwin today, again saying that again Darwin's progressing well as well. Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to show you as well before I did forget. We mentioned it on a video. Not that we didn't mention that. Apologies, chat. We did mention obviously a new sporting director, which I wanted to start the show with, and I completely forgot about it. I quickly get that up for you guys. So according to Sky Germany, anyway, of course, is over the sporting director role as well as Max Erbrel. Again, apologies for butchering last names. Has made Liverpool his second choice if proceedings with Bayern doesn't work. What do you think of former Leipzig and Borussia Mönchengladbach sporting director, of course? So again, that's from Sky Germany. So it could be an interesting couple of weeks, of course, with Jörg Schmachter still in the job. But of course, he is out of a contract, I think, in August next year. So could be very, very interesting to see what happens there. Liverpool 3-0. Again, above that. 2-3-0s in a row, I think, well, against Forest as well. I'll be at the Forest game, which I'm very much looking forward to. I wouldn't mind that, I wouldn't mind a very high scoring game, for sure, absolutely 100%. But again, look, like I said, even if it's like a 1-0 or 2-1, I'm more than happy with that anyway. But again, for me, hopefully the most important thing will be, again, no injuries, get the win and then move on to the weekend against Forest. Because again, I think the worrying thing is, again, I think we have to remember who plays for Nottingham Forest now, and that's Divock Origi as well. I'm guaranteeing Divock Origi to start for Forest next week. Of course, 'cause I think didn't they draw to Luton? I think it was this past weekend. So again, I'm going to quickly have a look at that as well, because I can't remember who they played last week. Yeah, they drew 2-2 against Luton. So again, hopefully, again, Liverpool can get 3 points there as well. Anyway, but that's just a hope and dream. Anyway, and hopefully Divock Origi does not play and does not start. Anyway, but yeah, Forest game 2 as well. I'm hoping so. To be fair, press. I'm hoping that Liverpool get back-to-back wins as well, and hopefully we can, again, continue that unbeaten. I say unbeaten run, but again, that brilliant start that we've had so far. Because again, the games are coming thick and fast now. Where again, it is to a week, and plus, looking at Liverpool's fixture list, it looks promising. For now, of course, we've got past the tough period. It's a good couple of games until that City game. After the international break, shock against City at 12:30. That's the game where it's like, Christ. But yeah, Liverpool have a good round of fixtures coming up, to be fair. Because I know, again, we've got Toulouse on Thursday, we've got Forest on Sunday then, and then we've got Bournemouth on Wednesday, Luton on the Sunday, sorry, Toulouse again then on the 9th of November, Brentford, and then the international break, and then we've got Manchester City. So again, like I said, a good run of games for the Reds, but again, hopefully, we can get maximum points from that, and no bloody injuries as well, touch wood, anyway. But I'm going to leave it there for tonight, guys. Anyway, big thank you for Press and for Vaz for popping in as well. If anyone else is popping in as well, then do let us know in the comments. But yeah, of course, we'll be back tomorrow with a post-match reaction after the footy. Again, I'm hoping for a 3-1 win. Like I said, I'd take a 1-0 to be fair, but more or less, no injuries. Again, it's good the fact that Cody Gakpo is back. And yeah, judging from what Jurgen Klopp said in today's press conference, it does seem that we are going to go very, very strong in tomorrow's game as well. Anyway, so fingers crossed as well that, again, there's no injuries in that scenario anyway. But yeah, until next time, guys, that's going to be it from me. I've been Connor from the Cop Council. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ta-ra.